From Florida's Space Coast, this is Your Career.
Welcome to Your Career. I'm Debbie Featherston, your host, and with me today is a young person, or actually a couple young people, who have been very inspirational in starting an academy. And let us learn a little bit more about it. With me, I have Slayde Kerner and Seville Kerner and Susan Sears. Thank you all three for being here. And Slayde, I am so impressed at what you have done. And the reason I have you here is because I'm hoping that you can inspire many of the young viewers who are tuning in, or helping the parents to become inspired to help their kids stretch a little bit and begin to do some things now. You know, at the age of 12, I understand that you really found some inspiration that has led you to launch this academy. Tell us a little bit about that.
So in the beginning, I was a big video game player, especially the game Minecraft. Now, in 2012, I went to a convention in Orlando, and it was a Minecraft convention, which was the game I was playing. You know, you walk around, there's many different booths you could go to, many different exhibits. Now, but one of them caught my attention, and it was called Minecraft EDU. Now, you obviously recognize that the game is in there. Now, what is the EDU part at the end of it? So I thought about it for a little while, and I was wondering what that could mean, and nothing really clicked. So I went over to the booth. You know, I wanted to learn more about it. After reading for a while and asking everybody around what it was, I discovered that there were teachers that were taking the game and they were reprogramming it to be used in the classroom. Now that means that different schools, they can take this program into their class and they can teach their students with the game. So instead of having to sit and listen to the teachers teach them, you have this program now that they could play and learn at the same time. So it's very educational because now they're really into it.
So give me an example of what a subject might be that they would apply the Minecraft EDU to.
Okay, so they could use history for an example.
Okay.
The teacher could go in, they could build the pyramids, and now the students can go and explore inside of the pyramids.
Oh, wow. Explore inside the pyramids.
Yeah.
Now that is fascinating. Okay, so tell me, what need did you identify that made you really embrace this?
Well, I thought that, now these are teachers that are teaching the subject, it's not kids. So I thought, I'm a big player, how could I do this? I want to do this, I want to bring this to my school. So I went to my school, presented this to the board of directors, and at first, they did not approve, and after a year of going back and forth with them, they finally decided this would be really good as they were a STEM school. And they bought us 50 computers to use at their school. That's pretty good.
I'd say that's impressive.
Yeah, so after a year of teaching or so, it was just about me and my sister, we were teaching.
Okay.
So we decided, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to leave middle school and I'm going to go to high school, and I can't do this on my own with just my sister. So we went around and we were looking at everybody who was really good at the game, and we found some select students. We took them to the side and we questioned them, and we figured out maybe they could be leaders too. And that's where this whole thing started. You know, now we have 16 leaders that we're going to be using around. So.
Wow. Tell me a little bit more about the Academy and your vision here with the Academy. What does it really entail? What are some of the offerings?
Okay, so one of the things we offer is the Leadership Academy. Now, unlike me, instead of just me going around, we have several students. So now these students, as I train them, they become leaders. Now these leaders are the people who teach the class. There's no adults that teach this class. It's just us kids. Now, there is adults in the room, you know, to supervise, but it's mainly us. So after they're fully trained, now they can go, we can pick more people, and they can train them. So we're really expanding all of our leaders, and they're getting really good sets of skills to become leaders themselves. And yeah.
Well, I'm curious, what advantage do you see with kids teaching kids over adults teaching the kids?
Well, if you look at a kid that's listening to adult, they're going to be going in and out. They're not going to be really paying the full attention. But when they see someone who's their age or a little bit older, but not too much, they're really paying attention. They're wondering, okay, why is he up here and how did he get there? I want to do that. You know?
Interesting. So now, Seville, how did you get involved? I mean, were you also a gamer?
Yeah, just like my brother, we went to Minecon together.
Okay.
I love Minecraft and I really enjoy it. So we saw the booth and I was really inspired with him to make this club.
Okay.
And it's kind of-
So what was involved in you learning to become a leader?
Well, when I was about 10 years old, my brother got me very interested into the game of Minecraft. So after 2 years, I really knew everything about Minecraft. So I wanted to teach other kids about it. So in the club, I became a leader.
That's great. So really you just took everything that Slayde had taught you and began to share it with the other students that you had selected to be leaders, if I understood that correctly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's pretty impressive. So tell me a little bit more about the academy, because I know you said you started in the schools, and you gave us an example of a school, right? So what are you doing with the academy today?
Now, today with the academy, right now we have everyone in the same room, which is getting kind of troubling. You know, having 16 different kids running around with a 20 people class. That's a lot of people. So we came up with this idea. Now that we're expanding, we're going to be able to split everybody up. So they're going to be working with select people, so they'll have about 3 people to one class instead of having 16 to one class.
So you'll have smaller classrooms then to break people up, or they'll meet in smaller groups,
Yeah.
so there's more one-on-one attention and less distraction in the room?
Yes, definitely. And it's much easier to walk around, get around, and you can hear a lot better.
We actually have a campus location now. So off of Century Boulevard, where we'll be teaching after-school programs there, all of the other programs besides the Minecraft also. And then we also have a mobile unit where we contract schools out and we actually take our leaders to the school, set up our equipment, and we do our courses there too.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how many students do you have currently enrolled?
So far, we have around 50 kids.
That's pretty impressive. So what's the desired outcome? You know, you said that this is really, you're taking it and using it in a very unique way, which is really more with students that are interested in the STEM program, right?
Yes.
So what do you hope to achieve?
I don't want it just in our area. I want it to be available to everyone. So I want to expand our company everywhere. I don't want it just in one location. This gives it a lot more goals that many people can achieve. So all these kids that are all around the United States, they can join in, or out of country maybe eventually, they can join in as leaders.
Oh, that's great. But let me ask you this. Let's look on that's from the business perspective. Let's look at from the learner perspective. And this may be a question, Mom, that you may want to ask Susan or answer. And that is, what are the learning objectives that you have for the students? What do you hope that the kids who are participants in the program are really learning?
Well, what we're trying to do is with the leadership program, what it does is it sort of focuses the kids to become really business skilled. And it gives them the opportunity to realize that there are things out there that would not have been given to them had they not done the program. And you know, we found that a lot of the kids have entrepreneurial thoughts, but they just don't know what to do with that. And they may not get the support at home, or maybe the parent doesn't know where to go with it. And this is a really good outlet for those kids. And our programs that we've created are all stem into each other. So like the Minecraft we have a Minecraft that falls into the 3D program, and then the 3D program goes into several different levels, and then we go into web design and sales, so they're actually learning how to make their own money. So it's a good skill set.
Very comprehensive program. And so tell me the flow. If I have 2 grandchildren that are local. So, or they're really not local, they're few hours away, but they're close enough, right?
Yes.
So if I wanted to get them involved in the program, where would they start? What would be some of the, is there one program, one course that they start, that they register for, or how does this really work?
I did a lot of talking about the Minecraft EDU. Now, we're not just offering Minecraft EDU. We're doing different courses like Photoshop, and we're also doing 3D printing and web design. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's different things.
That's great. So a student could then, or a person interested, could take a look at the menu of classes that you're offering and could pick and choose the class that they're most interested in.
Yes.
And we're also combining courses. So we could
Okay.
take Minecraft EDU, we could take 3D printing, and we could merge them together so they could use the game and use the other course at the same time.
That's great.
Some of the kids may be intimidated with the 3D printing part, and the introduction from the Minecraft EDU into the 3D printing is sort of a stepping stone for them.
Okay.
So then they get a little taste of, it's really not that intimidating. And then once they've earned that skill set, they can go into the full 3D printing course and learn the software. And that's, it's sort of giving them the ability to
Right.
experience all the programs.
That's great. So if I go in, and I think Susan did a pretty good job explaining this, but it seems to me, and tell me a little bit more about this, Slayde, it seems to me that you were pretty strategic because you really have driven this curriculum,
Yes.
right? But you've been very intentional and strategic in incorporating the learning of business skills and entrepreneurship specifically. At least that's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And can you give me some examples of, particularly I think about the 3D, that might be a great example. Can you go into the 3D printing and tell me how that might play out?
So with the 3D printing, we take Minecraft EDU. Let's just put this as an example.
Okay.
They'll go into the game. They'll build a house, we'll say. And now, staring at a screen, looking at the thing you've made is a lot different than having something in your hands. Now, we thought, how could we do this? So we took the 3D printing course, we merged it with Minecraft EDU, and now they can print out with plastic and have their build in their hands.
Oh, wow.
Now, this enables us to have them build different things. They could really take creativity to their limit, and they could build a lot of different things. Now, with this, that'll go into our next course, web design, and also online sales instruction. Now, they can take their product. They know they have it. They know what to do with it, but they don't know how to get it out.
How to distribute it or how to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Get it to the end user or a customer.
Correct.
So they could
Okay,
take our
okay.
web design course and they could learn how to build their website and how to build their business. Now they can really become an entrepreneur.
So who's teaching the website courses? And is that another student?
I will be doing it, and we're also having many volunteers that are going to be coming and helping.
Good, excellent. So what kind of support have you gotten from the community, from?
Well, we have a lot of different sponsors, and a big one is FIT.
Okay.
So yeah, they're going to be helping us up a lot. We also, just to put this out there, I said we're teaching around 50 kids a week. Out of that 50, there were 130 that signed up.
Wow,
And that's just one school.
just one school. Wow, and that's just in one county right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, so you really do need help.
Yes.
Where do and you told us that the long-term vision is really that you see this as being so powerful and having such a positive impact in educating and inspiring other young people, particularly those that are in the STEM program, right?
Yes.
Which I think is really important when you take a look at, where the country is going and the types of jobs. STEM is really big right now, right? So how many mentors do you think you're going to end up needing at some point in the future? Do you have a sense of, when I say mentors, I'm really looking for more the leaders. If you try to replicate this in a couple years or 5 years down the road, I mean.
Well, ultimately, what his vision is that he would like to actually franchise out before he exits high school.
Oh, wow.
And so he wants to be in several locations throughout Florida, and then eventually keep spreading
Across the U.S., I take it?
and that
And
way
maybe globally?
And that way, when he reaches into different communities and different counties, those leaders can actually reach out to the other leaders, and that way everyone is collaborating together.
So, you know, what kind of a reaction do you get from the students who register for the classes? You know, are they really fully engaged? You know, do you have a dropout rate at all?
We don't have many dropouts. We may have had one or two,
Okay.
but the enthusiasm that they show us is really big. You know, you see their eyes, it blows up, you know, they're like, wow, what is this? You know, you have some students, you know, they don't really want to become leaders, they just want to take the courses, but then you can really tell who's paying attention, who really wants to become a leader, and those are our selected ones.
Excellent. So, you know, I'm thinking back, you know, to really get you where you needed to be, Slayde. You know, you had a concept 2 years ago. What kind of support? Have you had mentors? Have you had coaches? You had, in addition to mom or other parenting, you know, have you had?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of people have reached out to us, and that's really surprising. You know, usually you're the one reaching out to different people, and when you see someone coming to you, that's amazing, you know. It really shows support. So we have a lot of people from FIT behind our back, you know.
Yeah.
We have Computer Care Clinic.
That's great. So they see the value and the benefit of this program.
Yes.
Apparently, they're certainly, I mean, FIT, you know, very distinguished and big engineering school, or has been.
Yes.
So that's very impressive. Let me take a step back and go back to the leaders. And what are the qualities that you choose? Seville, what are some of the qualities that you look for in leaders?
Well, we really want students who are leaders who want to actually be a leader, first of all. And
So they've got to be motivated.
They show a lot of enthusiasm, and
Okay.
they care about others.
All right. So,
Well, they have to know a lot about what they're doing so that they can teach it to others and they can know what to do.
excellent, excellent. Any other qualities that you'd add to that?
They actually, one of the things that we've accomplished over the last couple of years is watching the kids. They join as a leader, and they come in with the soft little voice, and they're shy walking around, and they answer some questions, but they're really reserved. And watching that whole transformation of the child go into being proud, walking around, they go down the hallway, and everyone knows they're a leader, and it's really a sense of pride.
That's great.
And it gives them public speaking skills too, and they learn how to vocalize, you know, because they're going over the 25 kids playing, and that gets loud, so they have to be able to voice what they want them to do and get their attention. So
Sounds like they have to have some good instructional skills as
Yes.
well as communication skills.
Yes.
You know, a lot of really core fundamental skills that we're going to use, we use every day in the business world, right?
right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and one of the things too is in starting this whole program, is we didn't like the fact that a lot of the kids go into high school and they're just starting to learn some of these programs. Why are we waiting till high school to teach these kids? These kids should be learning in elementary and middle school. So when they hit high school, our goal is that the high schools will have to step up. So the programs will have to be even more advanced. So, you know, they're going to go into the 3D printing classes that the high schools, some very select few high schools have, and these kids are going to know the programs already.
and it sounds like that it's more than just knowing the programs. From my vantage point, I think that it's also, you've inspired a whole group of entrepreneurs. You've inspired young people, instead of being at home and playing games, going swimming, doing whatever, heading to the beach, nothing wrong with any of that. But you've inspired them to choose to do hard things. You've really you inspired them to think outside the box and begin to really lay a foundation, whether they know it or not,
Right.
for their future, like you're doing for yourself. And you're doing for yourself, Seville. Great job. I'm curious, how did you come up with the name Crafting Education Academy? Slayde, do you mind answering that?
Well, from looking at the standpoint of our first program being Minecraft EDU, a lot of students hear the word craft or mine and they instantly think Minecraft, you know what I mean? So I took that word and I added the ing to it, crafting, and then since we're really teaching a lot of different programs, that's where the education part of it came from.
Yeah, crafting education. I just, yeah, I had a whole different concept or vision of where that may have come from, but awesome. That's very encouraging and neat. Curious, moving forward, what are some of the things that you're going to need to be successful?
We're definitely going to need a lot of sponsors because having different programs that we're going to be running, we also need the people who provide the programs for us. And we also need our technology, to teach the programs with. So a lot of support would be very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to need some help with actually structuring some of your internal programs, or I'm thinking about your leadership program, when you're teaching leaders, right, that do you have an actual written course and curriculum to ensure that everybody's compliant?
Correct, yes. We actually will be copywriting our curriculum for all of our courses. So it's a
excellent,
very structured program that we have. But for the Leadership Academy, it's very structured.
Yeah.
For the courses, while there's set products that we teach and methods that we teach, he's actually developing the curriculums that we will be copywriting. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's very impressive, I must say. I can't stress enough how much I really appreciate the way that you have been inspired, and you're going to be able to inspire so many other young people to do, something with their life, right? Really think about where do they want to go, what do they want to do. I'm just curious, you're looking for kids who are committed, who are responsible, kids that want to learn, kids that really are interested in maybe starting a business, or maybe they hadn't thought about starting a business, but maybe you're helping them to think, develop more critical skills, thinking skills,
Critical thinking.
critical, or I should say creative skills, right? So
Yes,
they're coming up with solutions. I keep going back to the 3D printing and how that's
big programs.
I would imagine that would be, because kids love to hold it, and then when they have a final product, to be able to then teach them how to market it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that really
becomes,
brings out the entrepreneur skills in them, so that they may have not even known they had.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just curious, Slayde, when you started this 2 years ago, did you think you'd be at this stage in 2 years?
Well, I never thought of it going this far. I thought I would maybe just going to stay in the school. We may have had a few leaders, and I would probably opt out a while, and we'd have people who take it over. But it ended up not going that way, and obviously it's much bigger than expected. The whole thing started after trying to expand from just that school. Was one of my teachers in my high school right now, and really like to thank her. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, we love teachers that really support and encourage, this kind of out-of-the-box thinking, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, what did you find over this past 2-year journey to be the most challenging for you?
Well, the most challenging is probably teaching the leaders, because it takes quite a long time to learn all these different programs. It's not just one they learn; they're learning so far 3, and we don't necessarily have to teach them all. They don't have to teach each course, but it takes a lot of time to get them up to snuff.
Really gets them into speed. How about you, Seville? What would you say was anything that's challenged you?
Learning the programs for the 3D printing was very challenging, because you have to create this just from your thoughts, or you can look it up on the computer, but you still have to design it. So that was very challenging.
Kind of curious, as a young lady, have you had any of the older students challenge you, or go, I'm not sure she can teach me that,
Yes, some of the students were thinking, why is she up there? Shouldn't she be sitting with us learning? But instead, I was teaching them, and they got very inspired by that.
I would think so.
Yeah, seeing how young she is, compared
That's
to
right.
everybody else, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, it is. I commend you, both, and just thrilled that there's a parent that has just said, you can do this, instead of the you can't, or so busy and distracted with your own career and other things that you're not thinking about the investment in the children. Is there anything at all that you need from a is there a future mentor that you're looking for, just to help you to grow professionally, Slayde? I'm thinking about you as a young aspiring entrepreneur. You know, anything that you're looking for that you really need to help you to professionally grow?
On top of all these leaders, you know, that are helping guide the company itself, we do need adults too. You know, we need supporters and all that. So having adults that can supervise, that's really helpful to us, and it helps guide everyone in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I just keep thinking about, you know, an individual's journey, you know, life journey, and the skill sets, and you don't know what you don't know right now, but there's going to be some additional things that you're going to need, and you're going to, you know, you're going to find, oh, this is more of an avenue or direction. But I think it's an impressive goal that by the time you're out of high school, you want to have this franchised.
Yeah.
So, well, I want to thank you all for coming and being my guests. Susan Sears,
Thank you.
Seville Kerner, and Slayde Kerner. Thank you very much, and great big applause, you know, and I commend you for really stepping out and taking on this task. And if people want to connect with you, they should go to craftingeducationacademy.com.
Actually, our website's craftingeducation.com. And if you wanted to call us, it's 321-961. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
321-926-4848.
That's perfect. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, on behalf of my guest and everyone here on the set of Your Career, thank you for watching, and remember, be career happy.
More information about this program is available online at millermediagroup.org.